Yo, peace was good. Welcome to the installment of albums that never got released officially. This is part 4. I know it's been a couple of days since I recorded my third one. I just wanted to kind of take a break, you know what I mean? And let you guys just check the back catalog, if you will, and just check it out. Hope everybody had a wonderful weekend. I know I did. It was chill, peaceful, all that good stuff. But enough of that. Let's get on to the first album of the video. First song of the video is number 31, Main Source with the Science album. That was due to be released back in 1992. The story with that album is that right after Breaking Atoms, you know, the success of that album, you know, they started working on the second album, which would have been the Science. But Lost Professor had a falling out with the rest of them, with the other two members, Serch Scratch and K Cut, because the manager of the group was their mom, and you know, the mom kept trying to butt in, you know, it's like the say so, what to say, you know, just trying to it was interfering with the creativity of the group, and you know, Lost Professor wasn't really having that, you know what I'm saying? So he's like, fuck this, I'm out of here, peace, deuces, that kind of thing. So but in 2008 there was a independent record label named Diggers with Gratitude. I think they're based out of England, and they put out a 3-song EP of songs that were supposed to be on the album. You know, the songs are dope in my opinion. If I could only imagine, those 3 songs are so dope. The EP is actually called Main Source, Lost Science, and it's pretty much songs that were on the album that you could tell it never got finished. They were incomplete. You know what I mean? They're very short. Some of this, I think most of the songs are like a minute and a half, 2 minutes long. But definitely worth hearing. You can find it on YouTube. If I find it, I could post them down in the description box if you guys want to hear it. But that would have been dope for them to put that out, man. If that album would have come out. There's other songs that they recorded. I think Faking the Funk was supposed to be on that album. Not really sure, because I know that song was actually on the White Man Can't Jump soundtrack. There was another song called Television that, because I know in the second album, Fuck What You Think, there's a version with Mikey D doing that song. There's a song called Television, where it talks about, you know, people being corrupted by TV and how TV corrupts children's minds and all that stuff. But there's a Lost Professor version with a better beat, in my opinion. I think Lost Professor nailed it. Very, very dope song. A little hard to find, but if you do your Googles, you know, you could probably find it. But yeah, that song is dope, man. And I could only imagine that song being on the second album. That would have been dope. And Lost Professor low-key was a dope MC. I mean, he had some dope concepts. You know what I mean? So, but, you know, I think he's very underrated when it comes to, MCing and just, you know, overall production. But, yeah, shout out to Lost Pro, man. XP, man. Very, very dope. Alright, so that was Main Source with the Science. That was supposed to come out in 1992. Number 32, Freddie, Foxxx, and Pete Rock collab album. Bumpy Knuckles, you know, back in 2008. This is around the time when the Crazy Like a Fox album was coming out. Because that one was unreleased, it was shelved, and then you know, the demo version was surfacing on the internet. You know, I downloaded it, obviously. You know, very bad quality, but I like it. You know me. And so he ended up re-releasing the album, and the album came out with 2 discs. It came out the original version, and it came out with the studio version, what was supposed to come out, and the actual demo version of the album. But the demo version, was produced by DITC, you know, Buck Wild, Showbiz, Lord Finesse, you know, people like that. But you know, at the time when the album came out, was supposed to come out, it was themed too dark, so that's why he had to redo the whole album, and that's why the album came about to be about. Let me get some tea. And the album ended up coming out in 2008. But I mentioned that before. But he was talking a little bit about that album, but then he was also talking about future collab albums that he hadn't planned, that which ended up coming out. Well, some of them did. He said he had plans of putting out an album with DJ Premier, which ended up becoming the Collection album. He came out with album with KRS-One, which ended up becoming royalty checks. He came out with an album with Jesse West, which was part of the music for the Man series he was supposed to come out with. He came out with the Jesse West album. Him and Jesse West on the production. Well, Jesse West on the production, and Bumpy Knuckles on the mic and shit. And that was the only thing that came out of that series, of the Music for the Man series. But nothing about, Pete Rock, and I would love to hear that, man, because him and Pete Rock, they mesh so well together, especially like Pete Rock's older beats, you know what I mean? Very, very dope. So if it's anything like the Collection album with DJ Premier, where he got pretty much like past, like, leftover beats from other people, from other sessions, that people that skipped over, and he just grabbed them shit. That's why it's called the Collection. If Pete Rock's album was anything like that, oh my god, that would be so dope, man. But yeah, only a man could dream, So we shall see. All right, but yeah, that's Freddie Foxxx and Pete Rock collab album. Whenever that comes out, that would be dope. Number 33, Non-Phixion with the Nuclear Truth. That album was actually supposed to come out, I would say, like in the mid 2000s. I would say like 2004, 2005, maybe 2006. What happened with that is that shout out to the crew at Drop a Gem on them, Leo and Speak No Evil. They did a recent interview with DJ Eclipse, and Leo, shout out to Leo, he actually asked about Nuclear Truth, and DJ Eclipse was pretty much saying that Nuclear Truth doesn't exist, it's never been made. What happened was that they were in a midst of making the album, but it just ended up being like, ill built demos, songs that he had, verses, like a whole bunch of verses and unfinished songs and stuff like that. And ill built ended up using those, demos and verses on different songs that he recorded later on in his career. And so Nuclear Truth never came about and stuff like that. And then with Sabak Red living in Oakland in the West Coast in the Bay Area, it's kind of hard for them to to do that album, and because Sabak Red, he works for the Board of Red over there in the West Coast, so I can imagine it being hard. And it's crazy too, because in that same, excuse me, sorry about that. And in that same interview, DJ Eclipse was saying that they had an opportunity, like Non-Phixion as a group had an opportunity to go overseas to do a grand tour. They were making some, good bread, but they didn't end up going because of Sabak Red, because of his career. So they kind of missed out on that opportunity. So, which kind of sucks, but I could understand that. You know what I mean? But it is what it is, though, man. But I'm all about people that's about the children, so I'm all about that, man. About furthering their education, so I could definitely respect that. But yeah, so that's Non-Phixion with the Nuclear Truth. That's set to be released, let's say, like 2004, 2005. But yeah, I would love for them to put that out, man, because I'm a fan of like the Future Is Now album. That's a hip hop classic. I don't care what nobody says. I know that word gets used a lot lately, but that album, I highly recommend you guys check that album out, man. And if they was to put out another album, I want them to use the same producers, Large Pros, Necro, Lost Professor, DJ Premier, Pete Rock. I want those people. I don't want no Snow Goons. I don't want Shuko or Stu Bangers. And that's no disrespect to them, but I want the original lineup when it comes to the producers from the first album. So if they could put out an album like that, or maybe not exactly the same, but with the same producers, then I'm all for that. So, but anyways, getting back to that was Non-Phixion with the Nuclear Truth. Number 34, Ghostface Killah with the original version of Bulletproof Wallets. I've mentioned this before, but I might as well let you guys know again. He released his first album, his third album, Bulletproof Wild's back in 2001. But the retail version that you hear is actually the remix version. There's an original version. The original version was songs that had to be remixed. You know, songs like the flower song. You know, because the original version, I remember first hearing it back in early 2001 when Stretch Armstrong used to be on Hot 97. He used to play, he used to be here late at nights, and he used to play the original version of Flowers. And I was like, yo, that shit sound dope. Like, that version, so dope. But Bob James wouldn't clear the sample, so RZA had to redo the song, and the one you hear on the album was kind of mediocre. It was whack in my opinion. But the original version, a lot better. Excuse me. Whew, about to sneeze. Ooh, excuse me. Sorry about that. Yeah, that version, very dope. And then there was another song that was missing off the album called The Sun with Slick Rick and Raekwon. Very dope. I believe that was like the first song of the album, of the original version. But that had to be taken off because of sample clearances. Another song was The Watch with Raekwon. That was supposed to be on the album, but that never came about. So I think it was the Barry White sample that couldn't be cleared, so that's why they never put out that version, which sucks. And then I think there was another song called Missing Watch, which ended up being on Raekwon's Lex Diamond Stories album that came out in 03, which was kind of mediocre. But yeah, man. But Bulletproof Wild is a very dope album, very underrated. When it first came out, I didn't like it. I trashed it, just like everybody else. But then you guys saw my review, and you know, listened to it again, and I learned to appreciate it. So I thought it was a dope album. But yeah, that's the Bulletproof Wild's original version, released in 2001. Number 35, Mobb Deep with Murda Music. That album was actually supposed to come out back in 1998, but because of Napster and other file sharing programs, the album leaked, and they had to redo the whole album. And that would have been dope, man. I mean, to come out in '98, and it's crazy too because if you notice, they kind of had like a pattern. Like every 2 years, they would come out with an album. Like Juvenile Hell came out in 1993. Then they came out with The Infamous '95. But then Hell No came out in '96. And then if Murda Music would have come out in '98, then it would have came out in '98, but it never did. So they had to push it back, redo the whole songs, put it out in 1999. So that song, like that album, man, oh my god, I fucking love that album, Murda Music. Very underrated, but I can just imagine the original version with songs like Thrill Me, Do It the Hard Way, Perfect Plot, what's that song? I said Thrill Me, True Lies, songs like that. Reach Me, even though Reach Me was like more like from the Hell on Earth era, but it sounded like something that could have been on Murda Music. Feel My Gap Blow, that was on the Slam soundtrack, that could have been on that album. I mean, but now since Prodigy's dead, I highly doubt a lot of those unreleased stuff will come out, you know what I mean? But I did see on his Instagram that Book 2 of Hegelian Dialect is coming out, Book 2. So it's supposed to be coming out soon, sometime this year. So I'm actually looking forward to that. I'm trying to get the first one, but that shit goes for a lot of money. It's out of print. I should have bought that shit when I was in Daytona last time, like last year. Never picked it up, but then now it's long out of print, so but it is what it is on that. But yeah, that's Murda Music with Mobb Deep. Mobb Deep with Murda Music. And a lot of the songs that were left off the album, you can actually find the first two Mobb Misses mixtapes by J Love. And it's also on the Infamous Archives album that was released that was put out illegally. I kinda have an idea who put it out, but not gonna put that person's name out, but it's all, but it is what it is. So number 36, I with the Life I Lead, aka Center of Attention. released in 1995. Everybody knows that album. Classic album. It's like one of the most classic unreleased albums in hip hop history and music history, to be exact. That one was actually supposed to come out in 95, 96, but because Sylvia Rhone, the president of Elektra Records at the time, wanted them to put out like more commercialized trap music, they were kind of like, nah, we're not doing that. And because of that, the album never came about, stuff like that. So it kind of sucks. But the original title of the song is called "The Life I Lead," and that was and Grab Lover himself said that. So, but yeah, "The Life I Lead," aka Center of Attention, that everybody knows, that was supposed to be released back in 95, 96. Next album is Deda, the original Baby Pie album. Another album that was supposed to come out back in 1995. Deda, he was a MC, I'm assuming from the Mount Vernon area, known for his affiliation with P-Rock and CL Smooth. He was kind of like on the gangster tip, you know what I mean, and that kind of thing. Very dope production on the album. Those two albums were actually released under the double disc album that was put out by BBE, which Pete Rock publicly did not like that. He did not like that. I heard rumors that he actually, when he saw the president or the owner of BBE, he saw him spit in that dude's face. So I don't know how true that is, but that's what I heard. But internet rumors, shit like that. But yeah, production on that album, fucking dope. Just like the I.I album, the production on that album, very, very dope. I would love to hear like an actual album by itself, with just that album, for that album to be released publicly on CD, cassette, vinyl, all that shit, you know what I'm saying? But yeah, that's Deda with original Baby Pie. Number 38, Sauce Money. I want to give a shout out to my dude Kill. I didn't know this about this album until I heard Kill from Apartment 5B. The album Middle Finger You, which I do have in my collection, but he said that the original producer of the original version of the album is a producer named A Kid Called Roots, and he produced the whole album. And from what I heard, the album's a lot different than the one you hear that came out, I believe, on Priority Records. It came out in 2000. And I like the retail version. The retail version is dope, but I would love to hear the original version that Kill is talking about. For those who don't know A Kid Called Roots he's a producer. I believe he's from Queens. He put out a couple of beat instrumental vinyl on Hydra Records. Hydra, I think it was like Hydra Volume 12, I think. And he also produced what's that song he did? Do My Ladies by Memphis Bleak. That's like his more commercial stuff. But his early stuff is like more like boom bap, underground kind of sound. So I could only imagine how that Sauce Money album would have sounded, man. But yeah, that would have been very, very dope, man. But yeah, that Sauce Money with the OG version of Middle Finger You, produced by A Kid Called Roots. That would have been dope. I would love to hear that. Number 39, MC Shan, Many Young Lives Ago, the 1994 sessions, I should say. That was supposed to be MC Serch's second album. That was supposed to come out back in 1994. Cause you guys know at the time, Third Base they were on the Def Jam, and excuse me, they were both on Def Jam. And after 1991, they broke up, they split up, and MC Serch put out his first album, Return of the Product, which I think is very underrated. And then Pete Nice came out with the Dust to Dust album with DJ Daddy Rich. Another dope, underrated album in my opinion. And he had two singles out, and the singles were Kick the Bobo and Rap Bass, which was dissing MC Serch. MC Serch was pissed off after Def Jam because he was like, yo, like, how you gonna have Pete Nice on Def Jam dissing me? And so because of that kind of left a sour taste in MC Serch's mouth, and he never put out the album. And DJ Eclipse also mentions that in that interview that I talked about when I mentioned about non-fiction. So that's why that album never came out. But then on hip hop, I was reading an article on MC Serch with this album, and he did like an interview, and he said like he found like some you know, some like cassette like DAT tapes from those sessions that he recorded for the second album. He found them and he just put them out digitally. So, but it only came out digitally. It never came. There was no CD or anything like that. So I would have loved for a CD to come out of that, man, because that album's pretty dope. You could actually find it on YouTube or whatever. But I highly recommend you guys checking that album out. It's called M.any, Y.oung, A.go, the 1994 sessions. And last but not least, this is number 40. Redman, Muddy Waters 2, Even Muddier. Oh my God. You and everybody else, including myself included, and everybody else, wants this album to come out. Redman's been talking about this album since as early as 2010. He's been talking about this album. He said it was supposed to be an album that was supposed to be featured, that was supposed to reflect like the original Muddy was that came out in 1996. It was supposed to be like a continuation of that, like production wise, lyrics wise, all that shit, you know what I'm saying? But then when I heard I read like some of the track listing, and like not the track listing, but like some of the rumored producers that was supposed to be on the new Muddy Waters album. I was a little turned off because it's like what are you doing, Redman? Like, no, like I want Redman to use, you know, Eric Sermon's old beats. I want Eric Sermon. Let me change it. Sorry about that. You know, I want Redman to get with Eric Sermon. I want Eric Sermon to dust off that Roland W30, the keyboard that he used throughout the 90s, to make those classic Eric Sermon beats from the mid-90s, early to mid-90s. That old EPMD sound, I want him to dust that shit off, and I want him to make the beats. No Triton, no Yamaha, nah. Straight Roland W30. I want those old grimy beats from the 90s. So if you have some like unreleased joints that you did around 95, 96, I want you to pull those beats out and get them to Redman and let Redman put them to work. I want him to do the same, just like the first Muddy Waters. I want a continuation of that. I don't want to see no Knife Wonder or any new artist. No. I don't want none of that. I want you to get with Keith Murray. If you can find Molly G, wherever he's at, somewhere, you know, all the original people, Method Man, all those people. I need you to put that out in that form. I don't want no, I don't want no Kendrick Lamar. I don't want no, you know, Knife Wonder. I don't want nobody. I want the EP, just Eric Sermon, dirty 90s, 95, 96 beats. I want it in that form. I don't want no shit. You know what I'm saying? But I highly doubt it's gonna happen. And he's been talking about this shit, like I said, since 2010, and nowhere to be found. I mean, we had Mudface that came in like 2015. That sucked. That wasn't that good in my opinion. I'm like, if Muddy was just supposed to be Mudface, I'm highly disappointed with you, Redman. Like, come on, man. I know you could do better. You know what I mean? But it is what it is. All right, and that's pretty much it. That's part 4. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Sorry for the long wait. Y'all be easy. Peace.